Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with energy you haven't felt in a decade, simply because you finally slept through the night. For millions of seniors over 70, the night is not a time of rest, but a time of frustration, interruption, and exhaustion. You lay your head down hoping for peace, but like clockwork, your eyes snap open at 2 o'clock a.m., then again at 4 o'clock a.m., driven by an urgent need to use the bathroom that you cannot ignore. Doctors call this nocturia, and for years you have been told it is just a normal part of aging or a symptom of a shrinking bladder that you simply have to live with. But what if I told you that for the vast majority of seniors, the bladder is not the villain in this story at all? New research reveals that the real reason you are waking up is a specific fluid imbalance that happens in the aging body, causing your kidneys to go into overdrive exactly when they should be resting. The medical reality is that your body is producing too much urine at night because of how you are managing hydration during the day, and fixing it does not require surgery or dangerous medication. It requires understanding a biological loophole that allows you to hydration load your body without filling your bladder at night. In this video, we will reveal the 4 hydration tricks that help seniors pee less at night, ranked from essential behavioral changes to the #1 medical hack that stops the problem at its source. And stick around because number 2 is a physical technique that drains fluid from your body before you even get into bed, preventing those middle-of-the-night trips entirely. Before we begin, tell us in the comments your age and how many times you typically wake up at night. We read every response to understand what our community is going through. Now, let's get started with the foundational change that makes everything else possible. Number 4. The sunset curfew. This first hydration trick is the absolute foundation of reclaiming your sleep because it aligns your water intake with the biological reality of your aging kidneys. Most seniors have been told to drink 8 glasses of water a day, so they sip consistently from morning until night, thinking they are doing the right thing for their health. But here is the medical reality that most people ignore. As you age, your brain produces less of a crucial hormone called vasopressin, specifically at night. Vasopressin is the chemical messenger that tells your kidneys to slow down urine production while you sleep, acting like a dam that holds back the water so you can rest. When you are younger, this hormone surges at night, allowing you to sleep for 8 hours without needing a bathroom break even if you drank water at dinner. But after age 70, that nighttime surge flatlines, meaning your kidneys continue processing fluid at the exact same rate at 3 o'clock a.m. as they do at 3 o'clock p.m. If you are drinking significant amounts of fluid in the evening, you are essentially filling a tank that has a leak, and your bladder becomes the overflow bucket that wakes you up. The sunset curfew is a strategic protocol where you consume 80 to 90% of your daily hydration needs before 5 o'clock p.m. This does not mean you are dehydrating yourself. It means you are front-loading your hydration to the hours when your kidneys are most efficient and when you are awake to empty your bladder naturally. After 5 o'clock p.m., you switch to what nephrologists call maintenance hydration, which means taking small sips only when you are truly thirsty or need to take medication. You never gulp a full glass of water with dinner, and you certainly do not sit down with a cup of herbal tea while watching the evening news. Research from the University of Nagasaki followed elderly patients with severe nocturia and found that this simple shift in fluid timing reduced nighttime bathroom trips by an average of 1.2 voids per night within just 4 weeks. Let me tell you about Robert, a 72-year-old retired engineer from Ohio who was convinced he had a prostate issue because he was waking up 3 times every night. Robert would drink 2 large glasses of iced tea with his dinner and another glass of water before bed to swallow his vitamins, believing he was staying healthy. He tried the sunset curfew, moving his tea consumption to lunch and taking his vitamins immediately after his early dinner with just a sip of water. The first 3 nights were difficult out of habit, but by night 4, Robert woke up only once. After 2 weeks, he was sleeping straight through until 6 o'clock a.m. for the first time in 15 years, proving his bladder was fine, but his timing was wrong. This adjustment creates the window of opportunity for your body to process fluids while you are upright. But shifting your water intake is only effective if you stop eating the one thing that forces your body to hold on to fluid until you lie down. Before we continue, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 3. The sodium shield. You might be following the sunset curfew perfectly, drinking all your water before 5 p.m., and yet you still find yourself waking up with a full bladder at 2 a.m. The reason is hidden in your dinner plate, and it is a biological mechanism that acts like a sponge in your bloodstream. Salt, or more specifically sodium, is the most powerful magnet for water in the human body. When you consume a dinner that is high in sodium, your body creates a state of hypernatremia, where the salt concentration in your blood rises. To protect your cells and organs, your body immediately holds onto every drop of water you consumed earlier in the day to dilute that salt. It effectively traps the fluid in your tissues and blood vessels, preventing your kidneys from turning it into urine while you are awake in the evening. This is the danger zone. You go to bed feeling fine, but as your body processes that salt over several hours of sleep, it finally releases that trapped water. Suddenly, your kidneys are flooded with fluid that needs to be excreted, and your brain is forced to wake you up to empty the volume. This is what doctors call salt-induced polyuria, and it is rampant among seniors who rely on convenient evening meals. Research published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that reducing salt intake, specifically at the evening meal, reduced nighttime urine volume by nearly 20%. The sodium shield strategy requires you to ruthlessly eliminate hidden sodium from your dinner. This means no canned soups, which are often sodium bombs containing half your daily limit in one bowl. It means avoiding processed deli meats, frozen dinners, and even bread, which is a surprisingly high source of hidden salt. Instead, your evening meal should consist of fresh proteins, vegetables, and complex carbohydrates seasoned with herbs, spices, lemon juice, or garlic rather than salt. Consider the case of Margaret, a 76-year-old grandmother from Florida who suffered from swollen fingers and multiple bathroom trips every night. Margaret thought she was eating light by having a bowl of canned vegetable soup and a slice of toast for dinner every evening. She did not realize that her light dinner contained over 1,500 milligrams of sodium, causing her body to hoard fluid until she fell asleep. After learning about the sodium shield, she swapped the canned soup for homemade vegetable stew and the toast for a baked sweet potato. Within 3 days, the swelling in her fingers vanished and, more importantly, her 3 a.m. wake-up call disappeared. Her body was no longer fighting to dilute a salt bomb in the middle of the night. By controlling the salt, you control the volume of fluid your kidneys have to process. But sometimes the fluid isn't coming from what you drink or eat, but from where it is hiding in your body. Number 2. The fluid drain. This next trick addresses a physiological mystery that confuses millions of seniors and their doctors. You stop drinking at 5 p.m. You eat a low-sodium dinner, and yet you still produce an enormous amount of urine at night. You ask yourself, where is all this water coming from if I didn't drink it? The answer is gravity. As you age, the veins in your legs lose their elasticity, and the valves that pump blood back up to your heart become weaker. Throughout the day, as you sit in your chair or stand in your kitchen, gravity pulls fluid down into your lower legs and ankles. This is called peripheral edema, and often it is not severe enough to look like massive swelling, so you might not even notice it. But here is the shocking part. When you finally lie flat in bed at night, gravity is no longer holding that fluid in your legs. It drains out of your tissue, re-enters your bloodstream, and travels to your kidneys. To your kidneys, this sudden rush of fluid looks exactly the same as if you had just chugged 2 liters of water before bed. They get to work filtering it, your bladder fills up rapidly, and you wake up needing to go. The fluid drain is a physical technique where you force this drainage process to happen while you are still awake. Between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., you must lie down for 30 to 45 minutes with your legs elevated above the level of your heart. It is critical that your feet are higher than your chest, so using a stack of pillows or a specialized leg wedge is necessary. This allows gravity to work in your favor, draining the accumulated fluid from your legs back into your circulation. Because you are still awake, your kidneys will process this fluid, and you will use the bathroom in the late afternoon or early evening instead of the middle of the night. Let me introduce you to James, a 74-year-old from Texas who was scheduled for prostate medication because of his frequent night urination. James noticed that his socks left a slight indentation on his ankles by the end of the day, but thought nothing of it. His doctor suggested the fluid drain technique before starting the medication. James began lying on his couch with his feet up on the armrest every afternoon while reading. He was amazed to find that he would need to use the bathroom urgently around 5:30 p.m., expelling a large amount of fluid. That was fluid that used to wake him up at 2:00 a.m. By draining the tank early, James reduced his night waking to zero and avoided medication entirely. This technique manually manages the fluid load in your body. But there is one more trick that is even more effective because it prevents the fluid from pooling in the first place. Number 1. The circulation squeeze. We have arrived at the number 1 most powerful tool for non-bladder nocturia, and it is the trick that treats the root cause with medical precision. While elevating your legs drains the fluid that has already gathered, this method stops the fluid from ever accumulating in your lower body. It involves the strategic use of graduated compression stockings. Most seniors think compression socks are only for long airplane flights or for people recovering from surgery. But for anyone over 70 dealing with nighttime urination, they are a secret weapon. These stockings apply a specific amount of pressure to your lower legs, tightest at the ankle, and gradually loosening as they go up the calf. This mechanical pressure acts like a second layer of muscle, supporting your veins and physically preventing fluid from leaking out into the surrounding tissue. If the fluid cannot pool in your legs during the day, there is nothing to drain back into your bloodstream when you lie down at night. Research from the University of Toronto demonstrated that wearing compression stockings during the day reduced the volume of urine produced at night by nearly half in men with obstructive sleep apnea and fluid retention issues. The protocol is simple but strict. You must put the stockings on first thing in the morning, before you even get out of bed if possible, while your legs are least swollen. You wear them all day long while you are active. Crucially, you must take them off at least an hour before you go to bed. This releases any minor residual fluid while you are still awake, allowing you to void one last time before sleep. Look at the case of Eleanor, a 71-year-old retired teacher from Washington who was waking up 4 times a night, leaving her exhausted and foggy. She had tried cutting fluids and changing her diet, but nothing worked because her heart was efficient enough to pump blood down, but her veins struggled to push it back up. Her doctor prescribed knee-high compression stockings with 20 to 30 millimeters of mercury of pressure. Eleanor was skeptical that a pair of socks could fix her bladder problem, but the results were undeniable. On the very first day she wore them, she noticed she had to use the bathroom more frequently during the day, a sign the fluid was being processed correctly. That night, she slept for a 6-hour stretch, something she hadn't done in years. The stockings kept the fluid in her circulation, where her kidneys could handle it during daylight hours. This is the ultimate hack because it uses physics to correct biology, solving the problem without a single pill. It restores the natural rhythm of your body, keeping you dry at night and energized in the morning. The battle for a good night's sleep is not something you have to fight alone, and it is certainly not a battle you are destined to lose just because of your age. Your body is not failing you. It is simply operating with a different set of rules than it did 30 years ago. By understanding the mechanics of kidney function, sodium retention, and fluid distribution, you can rewrite the script of your nights. You do not have to accept exhaustion as your new normal. Imagine the clarity of mind, the stability of mood, and the physical vitality you will reclaim when you connect 6, 7, or even 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Start with the sunset curfew, watch your salt, elevate your legs, and consider the power of compression. These are simple, science-backed adjustments that give you back control over your life. If this video opened your eyes to a new way of thinking about your sleep, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We are dedicated to bringing you the truth about senior health that actually works. Share your results in the comments below, because your success story could be the inspiration someone else needs to finally get some rest. Thank you for watching.